Hello, Scouts. This mass of wires and connectors is the process you will create using Makey the Journey for STEM Scouts. Now, it does look pretty crazy right here, and this is actually a small scale version of what the Scouts will be doing to create their race. I have included an instructional piece here to help make a little more sense about what I'm going to show you, so you can use that as well. I recommend when you're setting up the Makey Makey to give all of your groups the same instruction on how to put the wires. So I have said that we'll start and we'll use colors of the rainbow with red on the left, orange on the top, yellow to the right, green on the bottom. So we're doing the Roy G. Biv combo. We have white here for the earth on one side and gray for the other. Probably the most difficult piece for the Scouts to do would be connecting these wires I have here. If you look underneath, and I'm afraid to show it, but underneath here is where you will find that they press in, and it can be difficult to do. So I recommend that you press those cords in ahead of time for the Scouts, and it will save you a lot of frustration. Now, the way that this works here is these wires correspond to various clip or direction pads on the Makey Makey. And it does say that when you go to the website, which cord goes to which. So if you look on the screen here, I have the left arrow will correspond with the A wire. The up arrow of the starfish will correspond with the W wire port on the back of the Makey Makey. The knight is the down arrow, which goes with the S. And then the right arrow here goes with D. Unfortunately, this AWSD order is not the order on the back of the Makey Makey. The actual order goes AWDS is how I have them, but you'll notice the wires, A is the second wire from the top and not the first. So I did express that in the directions I've given as well. When you set up, I've used foil for this demonstration to connect to these wires. I recommend that you use a shielded wire, which should be in your kit, because if it's not shielded, if any of these pieces touch here, or if you lead them up to the top and they touch, then it will cause the process to not work properly. But for this demonstration, I've used the wires and these foil makeshift wires to make the connections to the circuits we need. The idea is those wires that are connected here to the ports on back, you will connect some sort of totem for the Scouts to retrieve as they walk their paths. I've used some, we started. I've used some office supplies in the form of this clip here, a pin from my work, a paper clip, and a paper collector here as well. I actually have these reversed. So what will happen, Scouts, when you are actually going along your path, you are going to create with an aluminum foil this pathway as long as you want, twisting and turning, and you just need to make sure that it connects a pathway from the earth like we have here. You'll notice the earth is here. It needs to be close to the path that you'll be required to walk, because you will be on one side like my thumb and your partner will be on the other. And you'll need to touch hands as you walk across. If you do not, then there will be an alarm sound, which I will show you in a minute, and that tells you that you've lost your connection. The goal is to get to the end of the path and then touch the totem for your item, and then you will gain one of the four. Then you must walk back. And then when you walk back, you start down a new path, and you have to touch the second totem. And you do that 4 times. Every time that you do not keep connection with the path that you start, you will get time added to you. The person with the least amount of time has been the most efficient in completing the project. So here's the Makey Makey screen and the game of Makey Journey. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to hit the green flag here, which has now triggered the game to start. It will begin as soon as you start making your first connection. So I'm going to attempt to make the connection and show you what the screen looks like at the same time. So here's one Scout, they're touching hands, and the other Scout. As you can see now, there's a creature walking on the screen. It's a monkey. As soon as I lose connection, an alarm goes off, and there's a timer up here in the corner that goes. So I need to reestablish my connection, and then eventually walk to the end and touch the item. When I do, you'll see I've made the item, the banana up here. Uh-oh, another alarm. I then move on to my second. There's a new character walking. I touch my totem. And if I do it right, I might have lost connection here. I did. So I'm going to do this. Uh-oh. We'll go on to this other path. Oh, I've made that one. I've got 2 totems now. Then I go to my third pathway, touch the totem. I've made that one, and then there's one more to go. And let's see if I can, and I've made that one. I've gotten all 4 totems, and now I've completed my task. So that is what you're going to do on a larger scale, and the directions are on the actual lesson on how to cut and attach the foil pieces. I hope this was helpful.